Are we live?
Not yet.
It says live up there.
Now we're live. All right, start recording on the mixer in 5, 4,
3,
2,
1. Oh, that's good.
You like it? Identifying as a mom, daughter, conservative, friend, parental rights activist, Republican Party delegate, lover of freedom, conspiracy theorist, mama bear, and force to be reckoned with, this is Raising Liberty with Lindsey Beckham. Happy Friday. So we are here today, and I've got my two favorite guys with me. And they are sober as a judge today. So they might not be as much fun as they were last night. But we are going to decode the debate. So, do y'all remember the debate?
I'm always fun.
I'm pissed off about that intro because we've recorded
good.
3 or 4 intros and they all sucked. And your first shot at it is rock and roll, and it's good.
Yeah,
That's strike one right there against the two of us.
I did make Daniel pick the music. He kept telling me to pick music, and then he sent me this website with all this music.
Yeah,
and I
did that to me too.
So overwhelming.
Yes,
I said, "You're going to have to pick the music." Sorry. So he did. Well, I came in, then we listened to a few.
I got Brahms Symphony No. 2 in A minor from him, and you got rock and roll.
You have Christmas
thanks
music.
a lot. No, that was
You overthought it. You overthought it. That's what you did. She literally didn't put any thought into it and came in here and said, just pick something. And that was what we did.
Children.
He said, "What do you want it to be?" I said, "Well, I want it to be inspiring and energetic." And so he just typed these words in, and then up came this list. And I think it was the first one he clicked on. I was like, "Oh, wait, I like that."
I think that's a perfect segue. You said inspiring, exciting. That's the perfect segue to talk about the debate.
That's how I left it. I was inspired. I was full of energy.
And yes, I do remember
Yeah,
most
boy.
of the debate.
Most of it.
But
Y'all know who public enemy number 1 is today, right?
I can't wait to hear this.
It's Jill Biden.
No, she was.
Have you seen that clip?
Awesome. Yeah, that was a great clip.
Oh,
two
my
two
God.
clips. The
hey, David,
best part
you did really great last night. You were so good.
Y'all saw the
Yeah.
videos that she
Yes.
recorded after?
Yeah,
Oh, so bad.
well,
He
You
answered
all the questions.
What?
Yeah.
like a big boy, you're gonna get a treat tonight. No, the best
Now,
part of
please
the
give us
debate
money.
was after the debate, which probably should have stayed on the air another hour last night. Because it begins with Trump walks off stage and Jill has to help
Go up
him
and-
off the stage. And then they go to some private event for their donors or whatever in Atlanta. And she does and what did Trump do all night?
He lied, 53 times? It's just
Yeah.
like, they had a number even. And I'm like, what?
And of course, Joe is he's just standing there
Yeah.
like a zombie.
Yeah.
Like is a literal.
bad.
I think that's the story of the debate. Is not what they argued about, not even the points that were made. It's just the physical appearance of Joe Biden had to unnerve everybody in his voice.
The rambling and
I
the
mean,
incoherentness. I mean, did I say that word right?
incoherentness. Google that. I'm not
Jamie?
sure.
The incoherence
Yeah.
was marked. What was the opposite of incoherent was the debate was sponsored and produced by CNN, and
Not Cathead.
and immediately after, it should have been, and immediately after the live debate show, for want of a better word, they go to the CNN studio where they had like 10 analysts all lined up, all CNN regulars, so you know what their bent was. And they were lined up to just give Biden a beating after that. Every last one of them said he's awful, he's got to go. They all said it in their own special way. I don't remember who said it, but I thought the best line of that show was, when I watched Trump, I said to myself, oh God, no. But when I watched Biden, I said, oh no. And it gave me the feeling that this is all scripted, that there's no way that all 10 of them showed up, watched the debate, and just said, okay, now we're finally willing to take the gloves off and say what the rest of America has been saying for 2 years, that he's mentally incompetent. What happened so that they all of a sudden, for the first time ever, said, gosh, this guy may have a problem?
You think this was a part of the plan?
Until 3 hours ago, I thought that a lot had been coordinated several months ago. I thought that some internal cabal of the DNC committee had decided we have to throw him over. We can't just say we're throwing him over. We have
to make him look bad.
We have to have some event, some catastrophe that we can use as an excuse, and him blowing the debate would be perfect.
Right.
And therefore, we have to run the debate up really early so that we have time
to before the convention.
But then not only that, we have to make the let's not stop the arrangements there. We also have to coordinate with Joe, because you can't throw Joe off the ticket. Joe has to agree to leave the ticket, so we have to have that arranged. And then for whom are we working all this magic? We have to have the heir apparent.
And you know what? I got something there, and I've never heard anybody bring this up before, but I'm gonna throw it out there. Breaking news. I think it's gonna be Wes Moore, governor of Maryland. I mean, have you ever, Lindsey? Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah, maybe. Who gave you that idea that might happen?
I've been studying. So I think you're. So you said up to 3 hours ago. You've got a new idea.
Up to 3 hours ago, and I figured they're only telling us things. They're not going to lay out the whole plan. Let's say it's the end of June, so sometime in March when this idea was concocted, they're not going to say, okay, in March we've decided to get rid of him, so we're going to speed up the debate, and then we're going to let him lose the debate, and then we're all en masse going to turn on him, and then we're going to get Joe to say he's leaving, and then we're all unanimously going to announce for whoever our super pick candidate is.
Wes.
You know, they've got a stacked deck, and they're just playing this one card at a time, and I really thought that that's what's happening. Until about 3 hours ago,
right. They had him fired up. Like, he was the one that wanted these debates. I'll debate you twice. And what did he say when he came out and said something like, "Make my day" or something?
Yeah,
he was thinking he was going to dominate in this debate. Does he really? I mean, is he just that far gone?
Yeah. I mean, they could have him saying the same thing about a chicken salad sandwich, and get him pumped up about that. I mean, he's from what we saw last night,
so
on his best night, where they have a week to prepare, and it's their studio, and it's their time, and it's their timetable, and it's their moderators.
It's their amphetamines.
It's their amphetamines, and it's their questions that he obviously had ahead of time.
He had the questions. He was at Camp David for, a week preparing, doing nothing but debate prep.
And
that's what we got?
And sleeping.
Everything arranged. All of it arranged to the best of what his performance ability would be, and that was peak Joe Biden. That's as good as it ever gets. And so what I thought was, this has all been arranged in advance, and last night was just a planned disaster. But then I realized, first of all, that assumes a whole lot of coordination from the Democratic Party, which I don't think that they're capable of, and there's no way that they can coalesce around one candidate, because there's at least 3 different wings of that party, and that can't happen. And then the other thing that proved to me that theory is wrong is this morning, a White House spokesman said, Joe's not stepping down from anything. All you people that are calling for him to step down, that ain't happening. And a spokesman would not have said that, but he got ordered to do that by Biden. And then about 3 hours ago, Obama came out with a statement that said,
Oh, Obama said
all
something?
Obama came out about 3 hours ago and said, all you people that are calling for Joe to step down, stop it. You need to get behind him, rally behind him, support him. He is our candidate.
Okay, so Obama is basically running the show then, because whoever is making the decisions in the background is obviously not Biden.
Yes.
They want him to remain president because that keeps them in control and in having the power, right?
Well, yeah, exactly right. Except you have a cabal, we'll call them the CNN crew, who absolutely believes that Biden's going to lose this election based on what they saw last night.
Yeah.
And then you have, let's call it the Obama cabal of the Democratic Party that says, nope, that's our guy, and we're going to win. And they're the ones, we know, who have the warehouses full of the pre-printed mail-in ballots just ready to hand in. You
think they've already got it figured out, how to steal the election?
They've already run the playbook and won the game. They won the Super Bowl 4 years ago. Why can't they win it again this time? 11 million more votes than Barack Obama got in his best election. Well, Joe got in 2020.
Oh, now we have all
kidding
these.
Me?
I actually believe that. See, I am an anti-conspiratorialist as it pertains to the last election. I think there were so many more votes because they liberalized, and many Republican legislatures did this, mail-in voting, as well as ballot harvesting, basically just being as legal could be. And so, yes, I do think they got more votes.
To the benefit of whom?
To Joe Biden, but it wasn't illegal. Those were legal. They shouldn't be legal. Now, I'll grant you, I don't believe any mail-in voting. I don't believe in that. I believe in same day, go up there, civic duty voting. That's my deal. But state of Pennsylvania did not believe that. The state of Michigan did not believe that, and that allowed a lot of ballot harvesting.
Nine people on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court believe that. And that's what matters.
No, the state legislature of Pennsylvania, led by Republicans, changed the voting structure for COVID. They did that. They did it. I don't know why they did it, but by God, they did it. And
did y'all see Anderson Cooper talking to Kamala?
Yeah.
I did not.
She got really angry. She was very defensive, and I think she knows that she's gone. If Biden's gone, she's gone. She's not going to be the replacement for him.
Well, that's one of the questions that I had was, how does the party step over her?
Westmore.
Yeah, somebody's listening to me.
Well, what is the magic of this guy that you're?
I stole it. I stole
hard?
it from Lindsay. I was an inside joke. That's her horse she's betting on. And I think
it makes sense.
But he's just young. He's 45-year-old governor of Maryland.
Charismatic. He's black.
He is charismatic. He is a POC, person of color, which they
yes,
call that.
he's also.
No, it was in the article. They has to be a person of color.
That's how they can sidestep Kamala.
Right. So
and on paper, he's brilliant.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you look at his accomplishments, Google him.
He was
Governor
a Rhodes Scholar in the Army, and actually, fun fact, worked for Condoleezza Rice.
Did he really?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
He was a fellow under, not worked, but I think when he was after his Rhodes Scholarship, he worked.
I think he
for Condoleezza
got
Rice.
a Nobel Peace Prize or something. I mean, he's just done a lot of things that look really good. He almost looks unbeatable, and I think they've kind of kept this guy in the background, and he's going to appear as a savior for the Democrats.
So, yeah,
we'll see. I may be completely wrong, but
my
theory.
What's Obama's
Mike?
Michelle? Oh my goodness. And I know you're into conspiracy theories. Please don't tell me.
I don't think she's a man.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I think that's taken it a little too far.
I mean, really.
I think she's pretty.
Well, I don't know about all that, but she ain't no dude. I mean, I know the difference, Dave.
Do you though?
Well,
some of them are pretty convincing these days.
No, I got radar. Oh yeah, can't fool me. But You know, I'm just
Dave wants to say something really bad.
We're
right
talking
now.
about politics here.
I'm just absorbing the conversation.
Yeah, absorb it away. But yeah, I mean, so Westmore, you can't go Gavin Newsom, you can't go some milquetoast white guy out there. You know, you just can't do it. So
what if Hillary reappears?
Now that they got to be tired of Hillary though. They've just got to be, right?
I don't know.
I mean,
could it happen?
The Clintons exercise extraordinary power.
I really hadn't thought about that.
And in the party, incredibly extraordinary power.
The problem, and the reason why Westmore or somebody like that is not going to do it, is because there's only 130 days, I think, to the election. I think that's right.
That's not right. Is that right? No, that's not right. Is it? September. Maybe. Gosh, it's getting close.
Yes, it's like 100 between 130 and 135 days till the election. And as much as we might know who Westmore is because we kind of are political junkies.
Did you see what he did last week, though? He made headlines. He made headlines last week as he pardoned all of the people with marijuana.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, here he is. He's coming up to national
it would
news.
be very hard to get somebody up to a national level name ID. It would take so much money in 120 days. And by the time the convention rolls around, it'll be less than 100 days. Think about it. I mean, it would be very, very difficult. But see, like Hillary is an interesting thought though, because she's got
the name
ID. Everybody already hates her. I mean, she's good on that. I mean,
I think if you're a Republican right now, then you're just praying that they leave Biden alone.
Of course you do,
because I don't know that Trump can win if they pull a switcheroo here at the last minute.
I don't think he could. I agree.
If Biden and Obama are both saying no, we're staying the course. As I understand the rules and the laws, he cannot be kicked off. As Obama said when he was president, elections have consequences, and those primary elections were held. Biden won them. He is the presumptive nominee. He owns the delegates to the Democrat convention. He owns the
delegates. So what if the delegates show up at the convention and they don't vote for him?
They have to vote for him.
How? I mean, is there like a contract?
It's the rules of the party.
Yeah, if you don't get, but I think if you don't get a majority, back in the day, I mean, you had brokered conventions, and you could vote and vote and vote, until if you didn't get a majority or whatever or something, I don't even remember, but because conventions used to matter, but I mean, the rules have so changed now that they're not.
Look, if
they're productions,
as long as Obama is standing behind Biden,
I agree.
He's pulling the strings. I think.
Well. Fact of the matter is, as long as Obama backs Biden, give up any fantasy that they're going to change horses, that's going to be the guy.
If that's the case, then either Trump is going to win or they really are going to steal the election. I mean, there's no way anybody watched that last night and thinks this man should be running the country.
Well,
except maybe like Putin.
I alluded to the idea about the CNN cabal of people who just lined up to give Biden their beating one after another. And the question that really struck me is, these are the same people who have been the Biden apologists for the last 2 years while we've seen the cognitive decline so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And what they always say is, well, yes, he's old, but age is just a number. He's energetic. Look, I've met with him. I've been in meetings with him. He's super focused. He's detail-oriented.
Behind the scenes, he's great.
Behind the scenes, he's great. They're just this fake news. They're just pulling these little clips of him misspeaking like we all do. They're making a big deal. They've been saying that for 2 years. And now, apparently, sincerely, they have seen the light in just one 90-minute performance, and it makes me wonder what happened last night that their rose-colored glasses all came off at the same time. What did they see? What happened that made them say, "Oh my God, the guy looks like he's got Alzheimer's"? Like the rest of us have already known for 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened?
I don't know. I feel like there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that we have no idea about that would probably explain a lot of that.
Well, I tend to think it was coordinated, but that idea feels a little exploded to me, and so maybe something happened, and they just saw, was it the voice? Was it the 1,000-yard stare that he kept pulling?
All the above.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't wander off the stage inexplicably. I was impressed with that. But
Because Jill had to lead him off the stage.
he didn't know the debate was over.
He would have stood there all night.
all night. He'd still be there right now. Let's go live to the debate stage.
Yeah, well, when he says, I'm going to take on Medicare and win, and we beat.
He had no idea what he was talking about.
1,000. I talked to all the soldiers that died in Afghanistan.
He was so confused.
But
he had
he
no
said
idea.
but
And
he
you
said
could see it
stuff
on
like
his
that all the-
face.
And
You
yet
could see him like, I'm so confused. I have no idea what I'm saying.
the analyst kept saying he did so terrible, and Obama said, I know he did a bad job. And Kamala said, I thought he started off poorly, but he got better.
She said slow. Started
Yeah,
slow.
And the three of us
started just like this.
But the
I mean,
three
that's
of us,
what I was. I knew it was a long night. Right? I mean, that voice.
and yet the three of us last night all said thought he did well. Compared to what the expectations were, I did think he did well. But that's because I didn't start the night wearing these rose-colored glasses.
Fair enough.
I thought he did well for somebody who
With
clearly
dementia.
has dementia.
Oh yeah. Oh look, when I am 81 years old, I hope I can carry on a conversation like he did for an hour and a half. Honestly, I mean, I don't begrudge the man. I mean,
How old's Hillary?
She's about
76.
98, 99.
I think she's the same age as Trump, 76, 77, somewhere.
Every
in
7
there,
years she has to have an infusion of
The
of
adrenochrome.
infants.
Adrenochrome.
Infant.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, y'all
There's
know. Y'all know. I know about this.
ceremony. We don't need to go into that. But, and the other thing that the analyst said that also surprised me was they talked about how badly Trump did. And the three of us came away and said, I thought it's the best he's ever done on the debate stage.
Oh,
I think-
easily.
I think it was a positive. The CNN aspect was a positive, like cutting the mics and just him having to be quiet and just let Biden ramble.
Yeah.
That worked in his favor for sure.
I thought, where has that Trump been for the last 10 years? Restrained,
Oh,
fairly
it was
dignified.
It was. You could tell it was really, really hard. He wanted to yell and scream, and
I thought the golf thing was really funny. I wish that had gone on longer.
See, I missed that part.
I think that's when we spilled.
that's when
well, I
you
don't
were
say we.
having-
I think that's when you spilled.
I think that's when somebody spilled.
It was not me.
a drink.
Somebody
or something.
stood over you and just poured whiskey
That's
all
just
over you.
So aggravating.
And yet,
Daniel's
and yet
face
not a,
over there.
And yet
He's
not a
just-
drop of it hit the upholstery. So I was
none
happy
of it.
about that. Thank
it hit me.
Did it smell like
That
a
was the second
brewery?
time
Did it
it-
smell like a brewery in here? Did it smell like a bar?
It reminds me. I
In,
meant
in the
to go by the.
in
dry cleaner
the
today.
Daniel Recovery Studios.
Recovery
Smell
Lab
like a
podcast.
Recovery Lab Studios. Smell like a brewery.
We're sorry.
Sorry. Y'all invited me. I mean,
But
you knew what you were
was
getting.
here was the difference between Trump and all of these analysts, and Jill Biden. They watch Trump and they're looking at content and what he said, and he exaggerated this and he lied about that. And what Trump has always understood for the last 10 years, and these analysts have yet to understand, is it's not really a debate. It is a show. It is a performance.
That's right.
And he's entertaining.
He is a
and
performer.
He's funny. And he's engaging. And he's a BSer to the extreme.
You know what he should have said at the very end? He should have looked over at Biden and said, "You're fired."
Oh,
That would have been brilliant,
glad he
right?
didn't.
that'll be the end of the last
The
debate.
second debate.
You're
When
fired.
is the second debate?
September.
Oh, that long. Okay.
I mean,
I don't think it's.
I
I
think
would
we-
love it if it was like 2 weeks away.
I think if it was every Thursday, I mean, you know.
It's must see TV.
being
really,
rehab,
right?
but I
Yeah, it's
mean,
right after Seinfeld. And,
Oh man, no, that
You
was
know-
that was. I haven't watched the debate in so long, but I thoroughly enjoyed that one for various reasons. But I mean,
I went home and got the "How did it go?" question, and I said it was 2 events at the same time, and they were completely opposite. I said between the 2 of us, we killed a bottle of whiskey, and it was to the credit of Cathead Distilleries. They give you a generous pour on those bottles. That was a big bottle of bourbon, and we killed it.
I had one
and
drink.
I said between the eternal drink. I said
Making me
I thought
thirsty right now.
I thought the 4 of us had a whole lot of fun. It was a lot of people talking over each other.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it.
I'm sure watching us was more entertaining than watching the actual debate.
And what I said was, we enjoyed it. It was a hoot. I'd love to do it again, but I'm not really sure how much fun it would be to watch people getting progressively more intoxicated and just talking over each other and laughing at things that nobody watching would have known
We thought it was
what
a
we
great
were
idea,
laughing
though.
about. So I had 3
Quit
different
overthinking things,
I had
Dave.
3 different
It
people
was
ask
great.
me. I couldn't find the link to the show, and I said, because I suck at promoting it, and I said, I don't know that it's going to.
I sent you all the link 3 times. 3 times.
I said
I sent you multiple links
I said-
3 times.
If
I
y'all
didn't
had
say
more,
you suck
if
at
y'all
it. I
had
said I
100
did.
followers, you could have gone live on your page.
That's right.
That's why we're on this show. We're here.
Piggybacking.
We're on a tour, piggybacking, begging
Yo,
for
please
any
go
kind
follow
of anything.
Dave Talks Some More.
No, don't say that. Last time you asked people to
Oh,
follow, you lost a follower.
We lost one.
Oops.
Yeah, we're actually down to 14 now, and 24 hours ago we were at 17.
Wait,
We're up to 18,
come on.
and now we're
There's
down
no
to 14.
way.
No, we are.
You're down to
One of the
14?
friends I was talking to
No way.
at lunch
Who has
checked and said
I don't
it's
even
at
follow it.
14.
Yeah, no. It's so bad.
You know,
I
if
don't
we
even know how
keep
to
at
find
it
it.
by the end of the year, we'll be down to none.
No,
Y'all-
And we'll be kicked off the site. We're
at 16.
Okay. Wow.
Are you sure it was 17?
It's the stock market
What?
swing. We're up.
Who? Maybe somebody just deactivated their Facebook. That's what we're going to say.
Or they just died or something and they just deactivated. Absolutely.
Like Biden. Just
Picking up 2 followers for us is a big deal. That's the work of like 3
72%
months.
increase.
Yeah.
Don't go follow Dave Talks Some More. Maybe
Yeah,
the
go
first
unfollow.
second.
There we go. But, yeah, how did we get on that? I feel so-
That I've always said the most popular topic of the show is the show.
No,
That's what
it's-
I get the most comments about, like the Tim Tebow thing. You know, well,
Uh-huh.
what happened on the show? Well, here's what
Oh,
happened.
are
Here's
you
what
bringing
happened
up
after
the
the
Tim
show.
Tebow thing?
That
Well,
Walker.
I'm bringing up the show. yeah.
Walker is always right. Period.
Every time you say that, it's a dead silence.
Everybody needs
I
to
need
slow
the
that-
cricket. I need the cricket sound
Yeah.
effect. I really
Yeah.
do.
I mean-
How many times you do that, and it just kills the show because I look at you like, if
Oh,
you're
man.
really going to carry this with that, by all means, saddle up. You're riding lead.
Well, look, where were we talking about? The debate? Yeah. Lindsay, what were we talking about? Westmore?
Westmore. I almost chimed in. Yeah, when you take my ideas and run with them.
Yeah, well.
He did send me a screenshot earlier from Twitter, and he was like, "Oh wait, you might be right."
It's
all
all,
these people we're
Westmore's
talking about.
all over the, I mean, a lot of folks saying it, so, you know.
So Pete Buttigieg is just a
Buttigieg?
non-consideration.
Wait, who's that?
He's
He's
the
the Secretary of
Commerce
Transportation that was
Secretary, sorry.
the mayor of
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh.
Fort Wayne, Indiana. I think it was Fort Wayne.
No, it's what's the city that Notre Dame is in?
Oh,
God, I can't believe
Y'all
I
are supposed
don't
to-
know that.
what? No,
Oh,
it's
no.
in Indiana.
Please, Notre Dame's in Indiana.
Indiana.
I didn't even know that.
Oh,
so.
that's killing me. South Bend, Indiana.
South Bend. Was
Yeah,
it South?
he was the mayor of South Bend, Indiana,
Right.
and before that, he was some minor officer
Right.
in the I think in the Iraq War, and he kept really detailed notes of how many miles he drove while he was deployed, so that he could come back and when he ran for office say, "I drove 13,213 miles," which was so pathetic until Hillary ran and said, "Well, when I was Secretary of State, I flew 113,000 miles." And I thought, is this the new metric? Not what you accomplished, not what good you've done, but how many miles you traveled? What are you, a long-haul trucker?
So this was a mayor.
He's
Buttigieg-
the current Secretary of Transportation.
Yeah.
He ran for president as a long shot, dark horse.
Maybe we should put Mayor Mary up for president.
Yeah, I mean, you can. You can be.
I think. I don't know if she puts -D behind her name.
Yeah, I don't.
She's
kind of doubt it,
she's
but I don't know.
Madison safe.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I don't think the jump.
how's that working for Gavin Newsom?
Jump
Is
from
keeping your
mayor.
jurisdiction safe?
Is California safe?
Well, that's my point. Is if Gavin Newsom is getting so much run, apparently keeping your jurisdiction safe is not what this party is looking for.
Well, he's got good hair,
I mean,
He's a good-looking
he's
guy.
A
I
photogenic
mean,
guy.
and
he can lie like no other and make you believe him.
He used to be married to
Trump's daughter-in-law, right?
Trump's daughter-in-law.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's just
Very interesting, right?
The uniparty.
The uniparty.
Right there.
Well, the other name that I thought, why am I not hearing this, is Elizabeth Warren.
She's
who
old.
She's old. So's Bernie Sanders. If this was happening 4 years ago, you would be hearing Bernie loud and clear.
Bernie's older than
he's older
Biden.
than dirt. So Bernie and Hillary, I think have aged out of the process, which is saying quite a bit. But I think Elizabeth Warren is a little bit younger than them, and I was not aware that she had aged out, and she was a very serious candidate 4 years ago. So what happened to Andrew Yang? Is it?
Yeah,
He was very serious. What happened to him?
He's an odd one.
And the odd thing is, of all of these names that you can throw out, there's no constituency for Kamala Harris. Who's the vice president?
None.
Nobody coalesces around her.
Willie Brown.
I think that there's something about
Willie Brown.
Oh, don't.
Willie Brown.
Willie Brown's how she got her start.
Yeah, former mayor of San Francisco.
All these mayors.
I know. It's
I think he was the mayor of Oakland, and she became.
No, he was the mayor of San Francisco.
Was it San Francisco?
Yeah.
And she became that was her first political office, was becoming district attorney in San Francisco, because she was his girlfriend, and he was a number of decades more than zero older than her, and he gave her political start in more ways than one. But, he also he's still alive, but he's also aged out of the process.
Barely.
But being vice president apparently is the kiss of death in American politics. There's so few of them. Dan Quayle, kiss of death.
It was funny that you say that, because they said that Trump's VP nominee would be there last night. But we were so enamored with the craziness happening on the stage that nobody was even looking at who was there. I did hear Vivek was there, but I'm not sure who else was there that maybe.
Yeah, who is it going to be? Let's do a round.
I really don't know. Who do y'all think?
It's not going to be Pence.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Probably not.
I mean, when I came out of my news blackout, and I guess on your show it wouldn't be known, I stopped following the news for like 3 years, and I only came out of the bunker like a week ago for this, because we were going to do this podcast, and I thought, okay, well, I'll dial back in. Next thing you know, this past Sunday night, I'm talking about the French snap elections. That's how far I came out of the bunker. I was talking
French snap elections.
Yeah, they had the elections of the EU Parliament triggered snap elections in France. Well, that's a whole story. But that's how far I came out of the bunker, and yet I didn't come out far enough to go into who would Trump's people be, or his vice president. What happened to little Marco? What happened to Lion Ted? What happened to...
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah, little Marco Rubio, remember, ran against him. Lying Ted Cruz.
Okay, now I know.
Just calling people
and then my favorite one was Low Energy Jeb. Trump was great at fixing a insulting nickname on you. Low Energy Jeb Bush. And as soon as he put that nickname on him, Jeb Bush was leading. He was the first guy leading behind Trump, and when he said he's low energy Jeb Bush, I mean that was a bullet right between the eyes.
But Trump's just a bully. He says awful things about everyone. I mean, even DeSantis. I love DeSantis. I was a DeSantis girl. And I feel like if Trump truly cared as much as he says he does about the country, he would have put all his support behind DeSantis and fought to get
I
DeSantis
won't
elected.
guess who he's going to pick, but it will be somebody that he considers to be absolutely no political threat whatsoever.
I mean,
I think Vivek has kind of followed him around like a little puppy dog a little bit.
which is just makes me nauseous.
Did y'all notice that when he was in the running, Vivek, for president, he had truth behind him. He had 10 truths, and it was great. Everything he said was actually the truth. But every place that he spoke, he had this big sign behind him that said truth. Well, truth is spelled the first 3 letters, TRU. Whereas, so is Trump. And it was like, was that a mind play there?
Subliminal Vivek. I like him.
Vivek.
I don't know. Mr. V, I don't know, but
Look, I know this for a fact because he said it to us.
Yeah.
He said it rhymes with cake. Vivek.
Vivek. I mean, yeah, he's a smart guy.
He's brilliant.
He's
really
just
is.
the pandering and just the desperation. I hate that. I can't stand
See,
it.
I didn't see desperation. I saw energy and excitement
he wants to be Trump's VP so bad.
Oh, he
I mean,
does, yeah.
I mean, I just can't. I can't. I mean, I guess that's the only way you're going to get it, though. But that's just me. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Whatever. He is a
Why
he's
would
a
you,
very
why
good debater.
would you want that job?
Oh, he's so good.
The only reason you want that job is if you feel like the incumbent's going to die in office, and I'll get to be like Truman or Johnson and just step in, because other than that, being the vice president is the kiss of death in American politics. You don't come back from it.
Well, I mean, George H.W. Bush, president. Biden, president.
That's true. Biden was vice president.
Al Gore, basically.
And both of them one-termers.
So what
Both
about
of them one-termers.
RFK? Where does he stand? What do y'all think is going to happen with him?
I mean, I love RFK Jr., but he's just not getting any traction. You would think maybe like a debate like tonight, last night might create some traction.
Well, if he had been up there with them, he would have been the shining star.
He would have wiped the floor with
For
them.
sure.
Well, the best line that I heard about him is he can't be a third-party candidate because we don't have a second party yet.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the uniparty has closed ranks against him, and he's out.
I think that's accurate. I hate it, too.
Is it possible the Democrats would come back and want to make him their...
Now they hate him so
Not
bad.
after he stepped out on them. Bernie Sanders is the only one who has pulled that trick in recent memory of walking away from the party because he was an independent, and then walking right back into the party with open arms. But because he was appealing to a wing of that party that had absolutely no spokesman yet. All the old guard in the Democrat Party didn't know how to talk to the 20-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. Can you imagine Hillary Clinton talking about being a socialist? There's no way she would do that. But Bernie did that, and he talked all the woke talk and all the socialist talk, and he captured that and made it okay to be in that party to be a socialist. That's the only way that he was able to get back into the party. Nobody else has taken that route. Won't happen.
All right, the vice president is going to be
Westmore. I'm kidding.
of 3 people: Tulsi Gabbard,
Yep.
Byron Donald,
I think that's the guy.
quite potentially, or Ben Carson.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Well, I've said Ben Carson before, and
Right.
I've been told no, I don't think that'll ever happen.
I'm never wrong.
He is a
Crickets.
no. Look, no. I'm with you on Byron. I think Trump is a huge fan of his, and I have heard Trump speak nothing but highly of him and his wife Erica.
But you're the vice president and the president cannot be from the same state.
Can they not? Yeah, I was convinced it was Christine Ullman until she
Nope.
killed her dog. But
Yeah. But yeah, so somebody would have to change their residency. They would have to be Donald.
interesting.
There's a quirk. See, you learn something new every day. You can the vice president and the
What's
president.
the source of that rule?
My head. It's
Tim Scott would be a good one too. I mean, I don't.
yeah.
I love Tim Scott, and I love his policy, and I love everything he says. But he had no spark when they got on that debate stage in the primaries. I don't know what happened, but he just faded into the background.
It's true. Low energy Tim Scott.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I agree. But yeah, I personally would probably prefer Gabbard. I think Tulsi Gabbard. I really do. I think she would.
She's impressive.
She would wipe the floor with Kamala. That would be.
Oh, that would be a great debate.
Absolutely hilarious.
We would have to watch that one together.
Oh man, yes, there'd be some drink. I mean, hey, the next debate, I'm gonna drink. I'm not gonna sit here and watch y'all get drunk. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna be the adult
face
in
right
the
now.
room.
I know you people can't see Daniel's face right now, but
I don't think it'd be as good as you think, because I always go back to the Palin-Biden presidential debate, and everybody was just licking their chops for Sarah Palin to make a fool of herself, because she had the
and she did well.
she had the Katie Couric interview like 2 weeks before the debate, and just
About what did she say? She could see out of her window. What was that?
Russia.
Yeah, she could see Russia out of her. It was just an awful interview, and so everybody was. But it turns out she figured out it's a show. All I have to do is memorize my lines and deliver my lines, and no matter what the question is, I just have to deliver one of the 15 lines that I memorized. She did really well. Can Kamala do that? She got through law school.
Look, I watched her vice presidential debate 4 years ago, and I was impressed with her at how she handled herself on the debate stage and how she answered questions. I honestly was impressed. So I don't know, what is it about her that people don't like? I mean, I know what I don't like, because her policy is clearly completely opposite from
She's dumb.
mine.
She's dumb as a brick. I mean, she really is.
Maybe she just memorized her lines.
I don't
that
know.
night.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but so is Sarah Palin. So I mean,
Yeah, right.
So I mean, you can get through it. I mean,
That's true.
So I mean, rocket scientists aren't in high demand in politics.
I can remember that one interview she did, and she's when everyone started to introduce themselves by their pronouns.
Oh.
And it was like, I am a woman in a blue jacket. I'm like, this has got to stop. This cannot be real life.
The thing that drives me nuts about the debates, whichever they are, is they're not debates. They're sound clip competitions. The most famous debate in American history was the Lincoln-Douglas debates back in the 1850s. And
Still watch those somewhere?
Yeah, they're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Really?
They
didn't have TVs back then.
Have you been?
Crickets.
wow.
They didn't.
Well, if you go back and watch the
Take that glass
if
away.
you go back and watch the YouTube videos of the Stephen Douglas debates,
Hold on.
They
Those are about Abraham Lincoln.
Stephen Douglas
not
and
TV.
Abraham Lincoln.
When was that? How many years ago was that?
It was
At least
in
20.
It was in 1858.
It's right before Nixon.
Stop it.
It was right after the Dred Scott decision was handed down.
I got involved in politics 4 years ago.
We're all still learning. We're all still learning. But what? Yeah, if you go back and watch the YouTube videos of the Lincoln Douglas debates, I'll send you the link.
Holding to that.
But nobody will ever. I'll send you a link, but it'll be on my show page, so nobody will ever be able to get to it.
Maybe 16 people.
What those debates were, they were held in a series of towns through Illinois, because they were both running for Senate in Illinois. And Lincoln would talk one night, and it was just Lincoln, and he'd talk for an hour and a half or 2 hours. And then the next night, Douglas would give his speech for an hour and a half. And then
so they didn't go back and forth.
And then a week later, Douglas would go first, and then Lincoln would answer him. And the transcript of the debates were so compelling that transcripts were printed throughout the U.S. because it was a very compelling discussion of what are we going to do about slavery, what are we going to do about the Missouri Compromise, which the to an extent, the Dred Scott decision rendered unconstitutional, and it was the country is being pulled apart, and these two people who, oddly enough, were both from the same state, had incredibly different views of what the future of the country should look like, but they were real debates because you had to talk for an hour or two, and everybody was going to read and scrutinize everything you said. How can you call what we do now a debate?
Did y'all realize they spoke nothing about what they plan to do in the next 4 years? It was all about what's happened in the last 4 years or prior to that and how to
That's true.
come back. They talked nothing about what they were going to do.
It's interesting.
Even when they were invited to. You know,
Right.
What are you going to do about child care? Nobody touched that.
Yeah, but
well, I'll say this.
Which is the one
Biden's-
issue that the feds have almost literally nothing to do with.
The one thing they have control over, and Biden did give the
That's
answer
because there's
of,
parental rights and alienable rights given to us by our Creator, and they aren't given to us by government and can't be taken away.
God bless
by government.
America.
America. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
you know, what Biden was able to say is we had the child care tax credit, which increased under his administration, and in the future he will increase it even more.
That's
which
sweet.
is, look, there's nobody who is going to out pander or out give away money,
Than
out money
Biden.
give away. How do you phrase
Give
that?
away more money.
Who's going to give away more money than Joe Biden? You can't outgive. You can't give away more
Trump
taxpayer
did.
money.
Trump was slinging it out like candy. There's checks
He was
showing
wanting
up.
to give more than actually he
Oh,
was able to
yeah.
give.
See, I just, Trump is nowhere.
Trump says whatever he needs to say to whoever he needs to
Yeah.
say it to
Oh,
at the time.
He's
Well,
no
but
more.
who?
Yeah.
Name somebody in politics. National politics is not doing that. I mean that's almost not even a disqualification.
DeSantis.
Well, that's like saying every time that guy goes out, his hair is perfect. Of course it is. He's a national politician. I mean, that's just what they do. It's no criticism at all.
I just think we look like the laughing stock of the entire world. If anyone watched that last
Well,
night, they're like,
I
"What is
thought-
going on over there in America?"
I thought Biden owned gold himself when he talked about, can you imagine what the world's leaders are thinking right now? And I thought, yeah, and they're watching you.
Yeah.
And they've been dealing with you for 4 years. And I thought Trump made the point. I'm not sure I buy it, but it's as an argument, is a credible argument that on my watch, Putin would not have tried what he tried. On my watch, Hamas would not be doing what they did.
How do you
Yeah.
even come to that conclusion? How can you say that?
Well.
Oh, he
in,
can
in
just
the
say it.
in the case of Putin, he can say, Putin goes into the Crimea under Obama's watch. I come on board deck, and he doesn't do anything. And then when I leave, Biden gets out of Afghanistan and makes it crystal clear, I'm fighting no wars, no
Yeah.
matter what.
Let's leave all of our weapons of mass destruction
yeah,
for the bad guys.
And
Plus,
so Putin
Trump
says,
understands.
Okay.
Trump understands just human nature more than any other politician. Like just intuitively, the plumber, just the regular old guy.
Really?
No, he does. I don't know
Trump
how.
I
thinks
don't know
he
if
can
I buy
grab
that.
whoever he
I don't
wants.
know if I buy that.
No, look.
Wherever
well,
he
okay.
wants
Well,
because
why
he's
do
a powerful man.
look the working poor, non-college educated flock to Donald Trump
Oh, look.
for a reason, and even his it wouldn't happen on my watch. You intuitively know that. I mean, every fella that has been to some honky tonk in his youth or whatever, and looks around and goes, the guy. You're not really worried about getting in a fight with Jim over there. He might whip your butt. You don't know. But it's no, Billy, he's crazy. I don't care. I don't care if he's 5'6". He's crazy. You do not mess
With crazy.
with Billy, who's crazy, because you'll have to kill him. Because I mean, even if
that's what
and-
Trump
and-
was saying.
and
that's what
that's-
Nixon said when he talked
Right,
about the
so-
madman theory.
right, it's a
They have to
legitimate.
negotiate
Yeah.
with me because they think, hell, Nixon might nuke them.
Oh, I'm quite certain that the
They're that
cabinet.
unstable.
Yes, I mean, can you imagine being Putin and Putin's, or Hamas? I don't buy. I don't care. They got all death wishes anyway. There's
Obviously.
no deterrent. There's no deterrent. But a rational actor, and I think Putin is a rational actor, and most world leaders are rational actors. And I think even Kim in North Korea is probably on some level a rational actor, barely, but but all rational actors have to have a real hard decision and hard discussion when you're dealing with a Trump. I mean, you just don't know. You just don't. I mean, it would kind of, so, I mean, and intuitively, I think just the common man, he can make that argument and it resonates. I mean, just the common guy, it's not a policy. It's not some wonky, it's just a common sense. Yeah. All right, guys.
We've lost all common sense in the world.
I know. And again, I always say, I am no Trump guy at all.
Well, I never have been until this point, but at this point,
what
you
are you gonna do?
you gotta go all in.
What are you gonna do? I mean, I actually, I am the anathema to the Trumpsters. I like Mike Pence. I think Mike Pence is a solid, decent public servant who has served this country well, and I think he served our country.
He's a
traitor.
Such a traitor. I mean, that's the narrative.
He served this country very, very well by certifying that electoral vote. It would have just crashed us into a constitutional crisis, and he showed his true colors as an American, not as a Republican or a Democrat, doing what his constitutional duty was. So I don't even care if that's sacrilege or whatever, but it is the truth. Why? And I just don't understand. We would not want that the opposite, Dre. You're just. I mean, what's sad is we talked about vice presidents earlier. Al Gore. Al Gore showed more class in losing in the Bush v. Gore. I mean, he had legitimate. I mean, a Supreme Court decision cost him an election, and it was dubious. I'm glad it was W. Look, I don't like Al Gore. But the point is not that. It's that we have, a democratic process, and it is spelled out. And you cannot have a vice president throwing out duly certified electoral votes from the states. You just can't.
Because if you did, that would be a threat to democracy.
It would.
So was it a fair question for them to put to Trump that if you lose the election, will you
concede,
accept the results? Was that a fair question?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't care if he accepts or not, but I mean, by God, ought to. Look, the peaceful transfer of power in this country is sacrosanct, and it's certainly bigger than any political party. And
but Trump's standing there on that stage. He is seeing what he's running against.
He's going to win.
I mean, if they tell him he loses,
oh my God!
Can you imagine saying, "Okay, I agree. I must have lost to that." I mean, Megyn Kelly came on this or last night or this. I love. Don't laugh about Megyn Kelly. She's my girl. And she came on and said, we were concerned about Biden being able to stand another 4 years. I'm now concerned that he can't make it through the next 4 months, and ride out the end of this term. And I agree.
No, well, since he has not been the president yet, I really don't worry about that. When he ran for president 4 years ago in COVID, was he running for president? I don't think so. I remember him being in the basement, and that they would give the press about 30 minutes in the morning, and that was it. He didn't really run for office. And if you love a conspiracy theory, it's pretty easy to say that his all the big decisions are being made by the wire pullers. And that Joe Biden himself is not the decider. He's not the person who thinks through all the angles and reads the briefing materials and talks to the diplomats or the generals, and all of that is being done for him. And to the extent he's making decisions, it's the way that an 8-year-old makes decisions. Okay, well, if that's what you want me,
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then what's going to happen to him that would worry Megyn Kelly or anyone else? The same people are going to be in charge for the next 6 months or for the next 4 years and 6 months. It's
I guess if he drops dead, they just put a deep fake out there. And
they bring Kamala in, and then they bring in the next one, and it's the eternal presidency of the people behind the scenes.
Yeah. And I think that's the only reason why we're seeing him as the nominee. But okay, here's my thing. If he does bow out and we see a new person come in, do they not have to go to the states and have so many signatures to get them on the ballot in each state? And when do these ballots start printing? Because I know they print pretty far in advance because they have to print so many.
I think I actually don't know when the DNC convention
It's in August.
is. Yeah, I assumed.
I'm not sure the dates, but I know it's in August.
Well, early balloting won't start in September. Surely that won't.
But how do you get them on the ballots in all the
October.
states? Will the delegate vote count?
I listened to a really short interview that said that as of last night, there is a 40-day window to get on the ballot in Ohio, and that Ohio has the first deadline to get on the ballot, and you have to be certified as the party's nominee to get on the ballot. So they have the convention, hopefully in less than 40 days, the DNC convention.
Then they still have to get all those signatures from the states.
Getting the signatures is, hell, they'll have those ready to go. As soon as the decision is made, the certification will come down within 24 hours.
But Biden has to be willing to step down.
But Biden has to be willing.
Come on, Biden, don't fail us now. Stay in there. Stay in there.
That really is kind of the surprise that he said, no, I'm staying in. And the only conclusion you can draw is that the people who are running things have said, I don't care what the CNN cabal says. We already knew what he was. That debate told us nothing that we didn't already know. And we're keeping him. And you people need to shut up.
I wonder what the polls are going to look like. I'm curious. The post-debate polls. I don't think it'll move all that much.
Until you can take a poll, the absentee ballots in the warehouses.
Oh my God!
The polls have no.
But how much do polls really tell us anyway? Honestly.
Well, this time last election, Trump was down 7 and 8 points. He is up 3 and 4 points now. So. They're saying something. I mean,
the polls will have him as a runaway. I think. If it's Biden, the polls will have him as an absolute.
Yeah,
runaway.
I don't think you can go below 45. Percent nowadays polarized. I mean, you can get 45% to vote for a fire hydrant, but 55-45 that's a runaway. I mean, and he's like,
Yeah, I don't think that there's another Hollywood insider tape surprise for them to spring.
It wouldn't matter at this point.
I don't think it would matter.
Yeah.
And
he still won.
The other question
with that Hollywood insider tape.
Yeah, the other question that I have not
he might be in
heard
jail.
the answer to is that
because he can't pardon himself.
Well, it's a state felony,
right?
Even
the
if he's
state
president. But what is going on? What is going on in the New York criminal justice system? I mean, how does that work so that he serves 4 years while his appeal goes far? I mean, does not the trial court judge have the ability to say,
never happened? So I guess there's no precedent.
I got nothing. There's no way. I swear.
Don't say
there's no precedent. No. So we've never been here before in a situation like this.
There's no way this judge can throw him in jail.
I don't think so.
He can pull bail.
No, I mean,
will he do it?
He's going to be sentenced. In Manhattan next month.
And he gets sentenced, and then he gets sentenced next month, and then what?
They appeal. And then
but
they ask for it to be held.
I know this
until,
much. In the normal criminal justice system, you don't get to stay out while your appeal is pending, because appeals get piled on top of other appeals, and it goes on forever. You go in the hole as soon as you get sentenced, the same day.
And then Benny Thompson comes in and says, let's not give him security.
Yeah.
Let's give him a death sentence. Basically, because if he doesn't have someone protecting him.
And he gets shivved. Yeah. Sure. Well, I'm surprised that that hasn't already been sussed out in the national media and has become common knowledge of. So what's going to happen to all those convictions?
There's a lot of them.
It's like a lot of them. 34.
All it takes is one.
But I think like the maximum on all of those is what, 4 years?
There you go. That's all you need.
There's no way. I mean, that's
On house arrest at the White House.
It's so crazy. I mean, there's just no way. I'm assuming it'll just be some fine or something. I mean, I don't even know. I just can't. My brain cannot wrap around him going, we don't need any more twists. This is crazy enough. All right. We got a nut job, dementia patient. You know, we don't need felons. We don't need anything. Just porn stars and just nothing.
I mean, I'm doing my best to ban porn here in Mississippi, you know?
Yeah, who he did not have sex with, by the way.
What?
I was surprised that Trump
He just flat out said it.
Yeah, no. Oh, absolutely
He didn't have sex with her?
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Last night. Yeah. No, I didn't sleep with her.
I do remember hearing that. Just like Bill Clinton didn't sleep with Monica either. So there's
I mean, Trump could be telling the truth. I'm sorry. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Easy.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't go that far, even though the first 3 letters of his name do spell truth, according to Vivek.
Oh, wow. That's deep.
I know, right?
That is.
Subliminal messaging. Daniel says, y'all shut up. You're boring the heck out of me. He's over there yawning.
No, we're at 101.
We're not nearly as entertaining as we were last night, huh?
Yeah, actually you are.
I mean, I've been drinking. I have not.
All right, come on. Take us out with your line. What you got today?
Oh, I see you got to quit putting me on the spot. I mean, y'all talk about something.
I thought you were going to have a good one.
Well, oh my.
Like debate related even.
You know.
Pickup line?
Yeah,
what we're talking about?
The cheesy pickup line. I mean, that's what.
At Georgia Blue?
God bless.
In Madison, Mississippi?
Would you stop?
With Connie?
Oh my God! It just I mean, no.
Back to you, Dave.
Yeah, I mean,
Dave, talk some more.
No,
Dave's
look. Pleading the fifth. Dave pleads the fifth some more.
Jesus Christ! You know, look. All I know is that if I got to rearrange the alphabet,
I'd put you and I together.
Yeah, I'd put you and I together.
Boom.
All right.
Back to you, Lindsay.
What's sad is she knew the ending.
I did.
Look,
I am like the biggest sucker for the corniest joke. Like I love it. I love they just make me laugh.
After this, I'm skipping the whiskey. I'm going straight to the painkiller.
All right. Well, we will. I'll be back with you guys. What Sunday? Is that happening?
5:30.
I don't know. I think we talked about it last night.
Gentlemen.
Do we?
Yes.
See. We do.
Yeah. You agree to it.
I don't.
I just show
Daniel
up.
It's on the internet.
Daniel said
Dave talks some more Sunday 5:30 live if you can find it. I won't, but don't ask me how.
I'll share it to my page.
Follow.
Like, share, subscribe, follow.
We'll see you Sunday.